What's going on, guys? So in today's video we are going to learn how we build modern graphical user interfaces in Python. So in this video I'm going to take you through, we are going to use the custom Tkinter library to actually learn how to build a modern user interface. So before we begin, custom Tkinter library works more like it's similar with Python, the Tkinter library. For those of you who are familiar with the Tkinter library, it's just the class name and some few changes that differs. So for example, those of you who are familiar with the Tkinter library, we all know that if we want to start with Tkinter, we have to import. So for example, I can import Tkinter maybe as TK. So if I want to assign my window, I can assign width to TK dot Tkinter. So then, for example, let's say you want to create a label. Maybe we can say label. Then we assign it to TK dot label. So I assign it to my main root. So maybe we want to put some fonts and all. Okay, the label is uppercase L. So maybe we want to put some, we have to add some fonts and all that. We'll basically add it here. So then we can be like maybe label, and then place. We want to place it. There we go. So basically this is another import. Okay, for there's another way. For those who are familiar with importing like this, it's basically the same thing. Maybe we can also say from Tkinter. So we import everything, which is using the asterisk. So then the moment you import everything means you are not using this. This is going to be straight. Yeah. So these are like one of the ways also we import Tkinter in the Tkinter library as we use. So for those who are familiar with the Tkinter, this is the custom Tkinter basically follows the same format but with different classes and different functionalities and all that. So let's use the custom Tkinter library, which is what you are going to use to build the modern user interface basically. So before we begin now, if you don't have custom Tkinter installed, you can go to your command prompt. So I'll open my CMD. So maybe we can say so we'll go like pip install custom Tkinter. So pip install custom Tkinter. I have it installed already. So let me see. Yeah, so you can see it says requirement already satisfied because I have it installed already. So if you don't have it, you can just install it using that command. So let's say when you are finally installing, then we are finally done installing, then we got count. So we can also use the import like in Tkinter. So we can say from custom Tkinter, can also import or using the asterisk. So we also, for example, we also want to assign root to custom Tkinter. We can also say CTk. So you can see it basically follows the same format as Tkinter. So for example, let's say I want to assign a frame, or I want to assign a label. Maybe I can say label. So I can say CTk label. So maybe I assign it to my root. So then I have my font and all that. So it's basically follows the same way. But in this video, I prefer importing into like this. So we can say import custom Tkinter as a CK. So custom CTk. So yeah, I prefer importing it like this, which makes it. So that's how I prefer it. So whichever way you prefer, you can choose to go with that. So now we are also going to one thing that we also do in the CTk library is we have something we call the appearance, setting appearance. So for example, we can say CTk. So we have this the set appearance mode. So I can assign this to maybe dark. So now what the set appearance mode does is that now this changes your UI to either dark or light mode. We have the dark, we have the light, we also have the system. So let me launch this so it makes more sense when I'm explaining. So let's launch this first. So I can actually come down here. So maybe let's assign a root first. So we'll assign root. So we'll say CTK dot custom Tkinter. So I'll put it here. So I can come down, say root dot main loop. Okay, so let me save this. So let me launch this. So now you can see I have this custom Tkinter page here. So for example, let's say this is set to system. Now when you set to system, now my system is having a white, the light mode. So in this system, what it does that now, depending on the system you are using, the appearance of your system, this will adapt to the appearance of the system. So if the appearance of your system is in a dark mode, the page Tkinter window that launches will adapt to the dark mode. If it's light mode, it will adapt to the light mode. So or if you use specific, if you are specific, let's say you say dark mode. If I launch this, you can see my UI here is dark. Now it has changed to the dark mode. Or if I say light mode, I say light. Now this also adapt to the light mode, as you can see here. So that's what the set appearance mode does. It actually changes our system to light or dark mode. So let me put it in dark mode here. So then we also have the set CTk default. So we also have the CTk. So you can say CTk, but maybe set default color theme. So now for this video, we are going to use let me say green. So now this means the color theme. So for example, let's say we have a button. So let me come here. Let's say I want to create a button. So maybe I can say button. So I'll say CTK dot CTK button. So maybe let me assign this to my root. Okay, so let me just come here. So I'll say button. Then pack. So let me save this. Then launch this. So if you see this, you can see now the button I have here is having a green. It's in a green mode, green color, because we set the appearance to, I don't know if you can see it well, because we set the appearance to green. So let's say I change the appearance mode to let's try something like dark blue. Now you can see the button also changes to like dark blue. You can see this color changes. So that's what the system, the set color theme will do. So go to Google. If you search for custom Tkinter, if you look at the GitHub repository or the documentary, you can see the different types of color mode we have. So let me change this color theme to green again. So now, so for example, let me take this button for a second. So so just as I said earlier on, that custom Tkinter also works on like the Tkinter library for those who are familiar with the Tkinter. So for example, let's say we want to assign a title to our page. So for example, same as you do in Tkinter, I can go like root.title. So maybe I want a title here. So I'll say maybe modern graphical user interface. So if I save this, so now if I run this, you can see we have, let me minimize it. You can see we have the title there, modern graphical user interface. So you can see the title also changed. So same thing. Now let's say we also want to assign a particular size to the window. We can also say root or dot maybe geometry. So let's say we want to assign a size like 880 by maybe 720. Now if I save this and I launch this, now you can see we also have this size that comes with the window as well. So so same thing, that's exactly also what you want. Now if you want to set this, now let's say we also want to change now this ICO, okay, this icon that comes with the custom Tkinter. Now same also as we do in Tkinter library. Now we can also say so let's say we say root, okay, root dot. So we use the icon bitmap library. So we'll say, so wherever my source is, so in my project folder I have a source. So I have a folder test images. So inside my test images I have a file called ICO, called aa.ico by them. So I'm going to save this. So I'm going to launch. So you can see now I have this is like somebody holding a book. So let's say if I comment this, let me comment this so you see it all. So if I comment this, you can see the default bitmap of the custom Tkinter looks like this. So if I remove this, you can see it changes to this like a little human there. So that is how, if you also want to change the ICO there as well. So let's what again. So okay, let's say for example we also want to create a label. Okay, or let's create maybe I know what we'll create though. Okay, let's create like a login UI. So first let's say we want to create the frame. So I can assign a frame. So CTK frame. So that's it. So for example in Tkinter, if it's frame, this is CTK frame. So that's basically how it means. If it's button, CTK button. If it's label, CTK label. That's how it works. So in case you are importing globally, then it means this CTK doesn't need to come. So if you are importing, maybe import Tkinter, say from custom Tkinter, import this. then it means you don't need to bring the CTk, like I said. So, but the moment you import this as CTk, it means whichever frame you have should be the CTk that you import on this, because now the custom Tkinter is now stored in this CTk that you assign here. So let's say I also have my frame here. Now we can put this frame on the root. That's another way. Or we can say master is equal to root. So then you can give this width. So let's say we are giving a width of 320. You can also give a height of, let's say, 360. So we can also give a corner radius. So the corner radius is more like, it does this. So it's more like a border radius. So let's say corner radius at 15. So let me launch. So for example, if I come here, I'll say frame. If I want to place it, so let's say we use relative x 0.5, relative y 0.5. So we can also use an anchor. So okay, let me launch this. So if I launch this, now I don't know if you can see the frame we have here. So for example, let's say we give this frame a color. So here camera can say foreground color. So in custom Tkinter we use, instead of a foreground here, we use foreground color. So let's say I can do this like maybe white. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I can land this. Okay, let's see. Okay, I didn't bring my comma. So I got error. Okay, so you can see now my foreground color changes to this. So like I said in the beginning, so you can see now my window is dark. So that's because, like I said, you set this to dark. Or let's say if you want to set this to system. So it means whichever way you set this to will depend on how you choose the foreground. So if I check this to system, now you can see if I change this to this system, it means now my system is light. So this light mode is matching. This light mode is matching with what I have here. So it means then I'll either have to set this foreground to maybe black. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll either have to set the foreground color to black, blue, or whatever. So, or if, for example, if I leave it by default, let me think. By default, I think it comes with black. I don't know. Let me check. Okay, this is like some gray here. So you can change this to like maybe blue, or let's say this. Okay, so depending on which color you want, so that's basically what is happening. So if I like this, I see we have it here. So that is basically this. So for the also for the corner radius here. So for example, if I set this, let me launch. You can see if I launch the page, we have it here. We have this border radius there. So that's basically what the corner radius is doing. So if I set this to 1, you can see the corner radius. So that's basically what the corner radius do. That's basically the border radius. So that's the another advanced thing about custom Tkinter, it comes with this corner radius, which that is not, we don't have that in the Tkinter library. So we can also import Tkinter. That's another thing we can also do. Now we can also use both Tkinter library and then custom Tkinter library. So for example, I can also say import Tkinter as TK. So for example, let's say I want to use the anchor from Tkinter here. I can also say anchor. They can also say TK dot center, right? So if I click this, now you can see my window is in the center. So we can also use the Tkinter library, also the custom Tkinter library. So it means basically, let's say I want to use a label. Now let me come here. Because I want to use a button with the Tkinter. I can also say Tkinter, let me say label or button. So I can also say label TK. So this will be TK dot button. So I can also set this master to root. So let's say, let me say button. I can say, let me just use the back. So if I line this, now I don't know if you see there is this button we have here. Let me add some huge label to it. So label test. So let me add some of this. So you can see we also have this button on it. So we can also apply the Tkinter library. You can also apply a widget from the Tkinter library directly onto the custom Tkinter library. So you can also do that. So with this, now let me remove this back. So now let's say whenever you want to use an attribute inside any of your frames concerning the Tkinter image, you have to apply the TK dot center. So the TK dot whatever attribute you are using. So I can also come here. Now let's say you also want to have a label. So let's say I want to have a label. I can say CTK dot CTK. Okay, I think it's not CKT. CTK. CTK. And the CTK label. So I also want to set this master to root. So let's give it a test. So I'll say maybe sign on to the account. Sign into your account. Okay. So I can also apply the font. So same thing as a Tkinter, I can say font. Now let me say I'll give you these pockets. Apply font, maybe font size of 20. With this, I can also do this. Then maybe finally, if I also want to place this, so I can say label. So let's say I can say maybe X coordinate of 50 and Y coordinate of, let's say, 45. I launch this. Now you can see we have this label placed here. So that's basically if you also want to apply this right here. So now I also want to try and I'll move this label to the center. Let me try to change the font. Let me use like centering. I take. Okay, let's maintain that. Let's use. Okay, let's maintain the points. Okay, so let me also push this to the center some more. Let me use it to like 80. So if I launch this, okay, 180. Okay, let me put this on my frame to make it more, instead of putting it on the read. So let me reduce this. Okay, I think this is straightforward. Instead of, so what again? Okay, let's say we want to also bring an entry. So maybe we'll say username entry, and now we can say something as we say CTK dot CTK entry. So we are also going to give this a master free. So you realize we assign a frame here. Look at the top here, we assign a frame. So we are just putting it on a frame. So I can also give this. Okay, let me place this. See what you got. So if I use the place, sorry, wow, x 15, why that curve, I'm if I to learn this now, we can see we have this frame now. This frame from the Custom Tkinter library. Now, one advanced thing also that comes with this frame is that we can have a placeholder. So it's something that comes with the Custom Tkinter that is not in the Tkinter library. We can have something like placeholder test. So let's say I want to use this username. So you can see now inside this, you have a placeholder. So for example, if I type something, then the placeholder vanishes. So looks modding. So that's why this. I can recommend this whenever I want to read a modding graphical user interface. Also, okay, let's give this a width and height. So we use the placeholder test. So if you look at I'm going to put the link to the Custom Tkinter documentation. If you read it, you can see or look at it. There's an example of all those things you can do with this TK entry. So many things you can do with the CTK entry. So let's say I also want to. So aside that, is always same thing as the Tkinter library, but just a few features that is in it that is not in the Tkinter library. Something like the placeholder test, which is not in the Tkinter library, the corner radius and all of that. But something like width, I mean, we know in Tkinter we can assign a width or height if we want. So let's say I'll do 22. Okay, let me click this. So is the so you have the placeholder there. So that's basically the same thing. So Now let's say let me also copy this. Now let's say password entry. I'm also change this to password entry. And so I will change the placeholder to password. Now let me change this to 165. So if I line this, now you see we have also have this another entry here, password. Whenever you click on it, the placeholder vanishes. So if you click on it, the moment you click on that one, the placeholder is back there. So so same thing like I keep saying, like it's basically this. If you are familiar with the Tkinter library, most of the things here is a Tkinter library you apply. So for example, you want to, let's say if I type inside this password, let's say I want to hide the text in my password here. Now I can assign, use the show, same here. Now click changes to hash. So if I type this, and the user types, now what we see there is hash. Or let's use the asterisks. So yeah, same thing here. So there are a whole lot we can also do here. Now let's also change, and we can also change the font. Maybe the font, let's say you want to change the particular font inside here. So usually same thing, like I keep saying, like most of it is there. If you are familiar with Tkinter, most of it you just have to take it from Tkinter. So let's how to change this to, let's use Gothic UI. So if I save this, you can see there's the difference in the fonts here as well. So let's apply some button. So we can also say button. So you CTK dot CTK button. Oh, sorry, I use CTK CTL. So it's CTK button. So we're also using the master frame. Let's say give this a width to use the 20 with the text login, supposed to be a string. Alright, we can also give maybe we can give this font. Okay, let's leave the font for now. Let me launch it so you see how it looks. So I can say button. This. So we are on X. I can say 15. I say 240. So if I like this, now you can see we have this button here. Comes with the hover modern looking button here. You see you have the corner radius. If you also want to change the corner radius, you can also apply corner radius here. If you have like blue, I'll save this. You see it's there. If you don't want that at all, you can set it to 0. So I'll save 0. You can see it's completely flat. Or 10. So this comes with a label. Maybe you can also change. So basically same thing from aside the corner radius. Okay, so we can also say cursor to. So if I also should launch this, okay, the spelling is wrong, cursor. So if I should line this, I can see now the cursor also changes to the hand whenever we put it on it. So that's if you want to do. So let's also say, for example, now let's count down another password. You can also say checkbox. So you can also say CTk. All that CTk checkbox. So you can say master routine. So you can also place this checkbox dot place. You can also say X, let's say 50, Y, Y, let's say 200. I should land this. Okay, I think I have an error that I make here. Checkbox dot place. Okay, I think the X should be lowercase. Okay, so let's learn this again. So you can see I have this checkbox here, right then. So it also comes there. Now let's say let me assign this to the frame so that it will come to our frame. So you can see I have my little checkbox here. So same thing. Let's say I can also say test forgot, or let's say agree to terms and conditions. So I like this. Now you can also see we have the test here, and you can also see now if you check this is also green. That is because we chose the green here. So if once again, if I should change this to dark blue, you can see now inside our checkbox it's also having like the dark blue there. So there's a whole lot you can do with this, and you can see this looks modern. So let's say I have some few examples are downloaded from Custom Tkinter library. So you can see we have this something like, okay, we also have, let's say I have this here as well. If I launch this, now you can see we have a whole lot. These are like also the checkboxes. This like a scrollable button flame. It's like an image in item. So let me also, this is also the test. This is another one I have here. This is also like a scrollable frame. So there are a whole lot of examples and a whole lot of the things you can get from here. We have a lot you can get from here. So you can check. I will to put the link in the description to the CTK documentation or the library, so you can take a look at it. That's what I used to build the modern UI. So that's it for today. If you like today's video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Also like this video for more videos like this. And if you have any question, you can also drop it in the description. I'll also take a look at it. If you are also facing any challenges, you can also drop the question. I also see how best I can help you. And yes, for more videos like this, follow me for more videos like this. So see you in another video, guys. Thank you, guys.